freedom. What if true freedom was only 7 steps away? I believe it is. And today, we're going to find out how. Now look, we all want to be free, you know? I mean, there are some people who desire to be controlled, and likely more than you think, but that's another topic for another day. But today, we are going to talk about what freedom means to me, and also the steps that I am taking in order to get there. This is episode number 86 of the All Around Growth podcast, and this is a show where we talk about how and why we build the lives of our dreams. My name is Rob Kaiser, and I am your host. Today is January 28th, 2021, and it is a snowy morning. This morning, it's beautiful. It's actively snowing right now. Big old fat snow. And on this snowy morning, we are going to talk about the first step to freedom. And this morning, while thinking of show topics, while going about my morning routine, I thought that I would cover something money related, because money is on my mind with Financial Peace University coming up, along with the meeting of the church council. I'm a treasurer on the finance team, which is ultimately weird to me, but this is my life. And with all of that going on, I've kind of got money on the mind. So I thought that I would talk about Financial Peace University and the baby steps, specifically baby step 1. Now, as I sat down to begin writing the show notes this morning, the idea transformed from financial peace and how financial peace would lead to financial freedom, and how financial freedom would subsequently lead to freedom in general. And I began thinking about how all of this, what true freedom means to me. So think about it. What does true freedom mean to you? True freedom. And what if that freedom that you seek was only 7 simple steps away? I believe it is. And in this extended series, we are going to, we're going to find out how. So prior to the introduction, I had said today we are going to talk about freedom and what freedom means to me and the steps that I'm actively taking to get there. All right. Now remember, this is my story. This is my journey. And if you haven't begun writing your own, it's time to do so, and that time is now. All right, the first step to freedom. So we've got to figure out what freedom means. And according to Wikipedia, freedom generally is the ability to act or change without constraint. Something is free if it can change easily and is not constrained in its present state. In philosophy and religion, it is associated with having free will and being without undue or unjust constraints or enslavement, and is an idea closely related to the concept of liberty. If you have a okay, you know what? I gotta brush some snow off the window here. Hang on. All right. Now let's get into things. Let's dive into this, all right? If you've got to work in a job that you don't like to simply pay the bills, you are not free. If you think about what you do to generate income, and you find yourself saying, well, it's a paycheck. You are not free. If you can't wake up tomorrow, next week, and next month, knowing that you don't have to go to work, and that if you were to get fired because of that, you would be okay, at least for a few months, you are not free. If you are burdened by financial debt, and the loss of your job would be a major life stressor, you are not free. The bottom line is that if you are listening to this, then you're probably like me. And my friends, we are not free. So I guess my questions become, what are you doing about it? Get off your ass. Life is too short. It is too short to not be free. And because we're not, we have to think about what we're doing to get there. If you have debt, you need to get out. Debt is cancer. I'm 43 years old. The way in which I understand and think about finances is the way in which I've done so my entire life, but it is changing. Change is possible. And for me, change was possible via Dave Ramsey and Financial Peace University. Now, it continues to be the answer as I have integrated so many of these principles into my life. And subsequently, my life has improved and improved and improved. Now, accordingly, I recommend this program with all of my heart and soul. But there's one caveat. You must follow the program to a T. You must. The secret to success is giving to charity. You've got to give it away to keep it, my friends. It's the only way. Anyways, back to financial peace. All right, baby step one. So, because it's a little snowy, I took some notes from Financial Peace University from lesson 1 last week, and I made my notes bullet points so I can reference them easily and pay a little bit of extra attention to the snowy roads. Luckily, like I said, for those of you who don't know, I drive to work, well, like most people drive to work, but my commute is mostly on back roads, and I avoid most traffic. Probably during my 15-20 minute commute, I will pass 6 or 8 cars. I mean, that's really about it. Unless I'm at the main road, like the end of the driveway. Anyways, so let's talk money. Let's talk what we learned in lesson 1, baby step 1. Now, the number one cause of divorce is money. We've also been led to believe that there is good debt and the lie that surrounds good debt. You know, like school loans and financing of automobiles and such. And we've developed this debt mindset, and I know that I have. And when we begin to understand and think about debt differently, we change it. We change our family tree. Now, I'm not so focused on money because I am suggesting that it makes us happy. Money doesn't make us happy. Money makes us more of what we already are. Just like alcohol. drugs. It's all the same. It's all different, but it's the same. Now, baby step 1 is the easiest and the hardest baby step. But there are over 10 million families going through Financial Peace University. We all go through tough times, and we are a result of the people that reach out to guide us. And so being focused on serving people to the best of my ability, that's who I am. That's what's in my DNA. And I see this as an opportunity to pass forward, to be that source of hope, that coach that pushes you harder. That quote that I just read was by Chris Hogan. And I assure you, you can do this. If you've tried before in the past and you've done it unsuccessfully, try again. But remember the secret. Now, budget doesn't limit your freedom. Your budget increases your freedom when you really think about it and break it down. But you got to start your budget with giving. And you've got to use cash for certain purchases that you make on the regular. We got to bring back the physical connection with cash. And one way that I'm doing that is I've decided to give gifts to kids as silver. So it's an interesting way to, or $2 bills or old dollar coins if you're struggling still to get out of debt. So there are unique ways that we can encourage people to think about money, and that's with the tactile feel of money in our hands. But that quote by Chris Hogan is really why I'm so attracted to Financial Peace University. I mean, the inclusion of FPU in my life for the past 4 years and now coordinating a second class, I'm realizing just how much of a positive impact all of it is having on my life. Now, in closing, as I wrap up the episode, I'm going to just not reference my notes, but I'm going to talk a little bit more freely about what I'm doing and how I am including more of Dave Ramsey into my life. Now, Dave Ramsey has created quite the enterprise, and there is a lot that falls under the Ramsey Solutions umbrella. Now, as I was, or the two meetings ago with my financial coach, I had just gotten out of debt 5 days earlier to the meeting, and I had some steps. Now, I was advised to read 2 books, neither of which I've finished, but I'm about halfway done with both. One was called Simple Wealth, Inevitable Wealth. The second one was called EntreLeadership by Dave Ramsey. And I had been most familiar with Financial Peace University, but EntreLeadership is geared towards those who own and operate small businesses. And it is not only a book on business, but it's a book on leadership, it's a book on finance, and surprisingly or not surprisingly, many of the same principles from Financial Peace University apply in EntreLeadership. And I have decided that based on my own experiences throughout this life, that when I pursue and once I make the determination of how to pursue the life of an entrepreneur, I will be implementing those steps as outlined in EntreLeadership to a T as I begin to run my business. And now I'll begin doing so as well in conjunction with Dan Miller from the 48 Days team. He's the author of 48 Days to the Work and Life You Live, a friend of Dave Ramsey as well, and they both launched the work that they've done around the same time, and we're in a mastermind group together way back in the day. So it's not surprising that I am drawn to both of them and the work that they do. Now, it's interesting because Dan puts together some content that is, he's got a wide breadth of content. And what I'm actively working on now and what I need to get back to is the Find Your Focus bundle. And then as I continue moving forward, being a member of the 48 Days community, I will continue working on finding my passion, my purpose, my why. But ultimately, I am putting much of this work on the back burner because it's important, but not urgent. And I've realized that through a life of service to my parents, to my church, to my community, to this audience, that I can figure out the rest and do so with confidence, knowing that I am leading a good and full life. And I'm proud. And you should be too, because what we're doing together is we're working and walking towards freedom. I mean, at the end of the day, all we're really doing is walking each other home. Because, like I said, this life is short. So let us not squander it, my friends. Let us continue to work towards freedom in the most healthy, positive, and beneficial way possible. Now, if you like this show and you think that this was a valuable use of your time, what I would recommend the most is simply sharing it with your friends, your family on social media, and also going to the bottom of the show notes and you will see a link in all capital letters to click and rate and review the podcast. That'll take you to Apple Podcasts, where you can give a 5-star rating, and if you feel so inclined, leave a written review as well. Right now we are getting the most listens through Apple, and the ratings and reviews there impact the algorithms the most. If you have any questions or any feedback for me, you can send it my way, allaroundgrowth@gmail.com. But most of all, I would encourage you to jump on Telegram on your phone, your tablet. If you've got Telegram Messenger installed on there already, just search for All Around Growth, and you will find our group there. And also, if you are on just a desktop browser, go to t.me/allaroundgrowth, or on your laptop for that matter. But if you're on a computer, t.me/allaroundgrowth, you'll find us there. It's awesome. Our community is still small but vibrant. We are growing, and come check us out. Be a part of the show and be a part of the community. That's all I've got, everybody. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you being a part of the show. And my name is Rob Kaiser, and thank you for listening. I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye, everyone.